And bonjour. You're listening to the Larvol Onco Data podcast. Bruno Larvol here with Dr. Mark Rambling, our head of oncology, and we're going to talk about preparing for ASCO in that in 9 days, right? Or less than 9 days, actually. I will be going only on Sunday the 2nd. My son is graduating from high school. That's my excuse for missing part of ASCO. Mark will not be coming this time. Is staying in an undisclosed location somewhere in Tennessee. But on the other hand, Lynn Nguyen and Mark Bolster will be with me. And Daniel Jaramillo as well. So we'll be well represented, and we hope to meet you at ASCO. So today, we're going to talk about Larvol Clin, our platform, our oncology trial data platform, and how it can help you prepare for ASCO. It's not too late. It's not too late. Also, it could be a tool that you can use for ESMO or maybe for your next conference. So we're going to give you, for those of you who don't know it, or if you know it, we'll give you a new view, a refreshed view of how you can use that platform. So I'm going to ask Mark to share his screen, and I'm gonna pass him the microphone to present Clin in a second. Before that, brief infomercial. Larvol is a onco data company. We have also historically worked in areas outside of oncology, but increasingly we're focusing on cancer data. And the cancer data we are producing, we are curating, we are enriching and packaging into various solutions and applications. We're selling it to medical affairs, to competitive intelligence in pharma, and to R&D as well. We have 100, we call them Tigers, associates. And one of our unique elements is that we are working in virtual reality. So when Mark and I meet, we put one of these on, and we meet in a virtual office. That's it. That's my infomercial. Microphone to you, Mark.
I realize these don't work when you're wearing a hat. That's the limitation of the technology, but fair enough. So thanks, Bruno. I thought we would just sort of reintroduce some sort of different things that we have available from Clin and some of the other supporting reports and that we do there, which, like Bruno said, there's time if you'd like to reach out to us on social to get access to some of these things. I'm a little jealous I won't be there in person with Bruno and our team, Mike and Lynn, from my, as Bruno described, undisclosed location. Although if you follow Larvol Onco Data podcast, you'll be aware that I'll be right here in my home office in the same location that I usually record from. So I'm going to pull up ASCO analytics real quickly on social media responses. And just give me a second to do that briefly.
As you do that, I'd like to. As you do that, I'll remind the audience that there are two versions of Clin. One free that you can use right now for non-commercial purpose, and one which requires a login. And as Mark alluded to, if you like what you see today, drop us a line on social media, and we'll give you a free login to Clin. But even now, you can, as we speak, even go to larvolclin.com, Clin for clinical, and play with it as we speak. You will not see everything that Mark shows you, but you will still see a good amount.
Sure. And if my screen's sharing, hopefully it is. Just to follow up on that point, I will just give me 1 second. So before I jump back to the analytics, but just to reemphasize Bruno's point, if you just Google us, or if you put clin.larvol.com into your browser, you can get a preview of a lot of elements of Clin, not necessarily not the analytics that we're going to talk about, but you can take a look at the breadth of our trials and different conditions, products, MOAs, etc. that you can see there. Also, a little bit of a preview of the conference data for ASCO. That's what we'll be speaking to today, as well as the oncologist, the top oncologist that we follow with Clin. So you can check that out for free today. But we, of course, would hope that you like what you see and reach out to us about some of the other more advanced analytics that we do. So to that end, I'll jump back over here to ASCO, which is one of the many aspects that we're covering here. But I think what we'd like to hone in on today, because today is a crucial day, I believe abstracts for ASCO drop. I might not have my exact time down, but I think it's at 5 p.m. Eastern. So we're coming up on it this afternoon.
I think that was yesterday. I think that was yesterday, Mark.
Was it yet? Okay.
Could be wrong, but
so the short answer is we are monitoring and indexing and extracting that data. And as you can see here, we've gathered till date, as of sitting here today, some of the social media reactions on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter. And this is where we are today, what you're seeing in front of the screen. Some of the top trials here, we've spoken on recent podcasts about ESOPEC. We've spoken to Laura. We've spoken to Adriatic, and we'll probably be speaking to a number of these other trials that are getting a lot of social reactions. Maybe a little bit even more in next week's Friday podcast with our friends at Blue Star Bio. So, but that's the structure of what you're seeing here, and just to quickly speak to the color code, we use AI-enabled LLM technology to not just curate relevant tweets. Obviously, there may be more tweets in this about ASCO, but we're curating this so that it's relevant to the trials and specifically relevant to the disclosures from the verified oncologists in our system. And we use AI-enabled tech as well to see if those are just neutral tweets, or maybe they're a negative tweet or posting on X, or if they're positive, or even if there's a practice impact. So that's what you're seeing here. And just to drill down, I won't belabor it since we're short on time, but I'll just drill down through to the NSCLC LAURA trial. And you can see all the tweets on the platform here, how people are reacting to this. And here the reactions are obviously looking forward to a big data release coming up at ASCO. And I will say, just relative to that, just give me 1 second, my screen is loading. If you reach out to us, reach out to myself, Mark Gramling, or reach out to Bruno, or reach out to any of us at Larvol on social media, or find us through the website, we can, without having a login yet, we can share with you directly a link to this exact page that I'm showing, where you can see these analytics. And if I scroll down further, you can also see the commensurate details. So just wanted to put that out there. That's a free just share functionality that we just added to Clin. So please reach out to us if you'd like to see this and be able to navigate it on your browser. So that's, again, just a very high level reintroduction to Clin and how we look at social media there. And then I also wanted to re-mention, which I think I've mentioned in previous Friday podcasts, that also, if you reach out to us on social or by website or any mechanism, I also wanted to reemphasize that we can actually deliver this if something that would be interest to you in your inbox. So I'm just pulling up an example in actually my personal inbox here. This is from AACR, which, is a month or so back, but we're doing the same thing for ASCO, where we can push 2 days prior, 1 day prior, day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3 of the conference. We can push to your inbox analytics that I was showing on the platform. We can actually have that go directly to your inbox, and you can have it delineated, as you see here, by the specific trials and disclosures from the abstracts. So this is an AACR example, but this is a new offering we're doing, and the team's prepped up for our customers to deliver this for ASCO. And if you think you'd like to pilot this or take a look at it, get an initial view of what these end-of-day reports that come out at approximately, they come out of close of business U.S. time, North American time, we'd love for you to reach out to us to see if this would be helpful to you and your team. So I just wanted to note that end-of-day report availability as well. So, and this is an extension. The technology of doing this is an extension of, some of our more, I'd say, more complex data in terms of, the tech is sort of an extension of our well-established, and I'm going to show this on the screen just to complete my thought, or established conference planners. Obviously, if you're heading to McCormick in a week or so, we would certainly assume that you're all prepped up. But let's say if you're going to EHA or going to ESMO, or maybe you're going to ASH later on, that we have extending the same concept, very more detailed conference planners to help you be prepared, your team to be prepared for the conferences. And this is a far too complex file to just throw up on the screen, but I wanted to emphasize that as well as the things that we do for conferences in and around Larvol Clin. So I rifled through, Bruno, I think, the sort of 3 main elements there of analytics, of end-of-day reports, and just calling out the conference planners as well, which was very difficult to do in a short amount of time that we have, but just wanted to give credit where credit is due with my team for the things that we can provide for your conference preparation. And you're on the word of post-COVID, you're on mute.
Thank you. In a minute, I'd like you to go back to the analytics for ASCO.
Sure.
And as you get in, and to navigate the other analytics we have for ASCO, the top influencers, the top drugs, the top MOA, and then I'd like to go back to the top abstract and to pick 1 or 2, pretending we are that I'm a customer, and I've got a couple of questions. I'll pick a tricky one for you just for fun. As you share your screen, I've got one other thing to say. These posts are not are very specific posts. These commentary are all meaningful commentaries from verified oncologists on X about the disclosures of data at ASCO. So it's not just hashtag ASCO24. They're all very aligned with a particular disclosure. So that's why you don't have so many of them. I like to use the term wasabi. It's very small but very strong. So let's go through the other analytics, and then let's go back to the first analytic, which is the top disclosures. And I'll have a little question about them. But let's look at the other one first.
Sure. So what I was showing prior was arranged by top trials. These are disclosures specific to that trial. We've also arranged it by just overall X reactions by individual verified oncologists. So that's arranged in this fashion. And then if we keep trucking, we also arrange that by sponsor, which is what you see here. And so that's all social media based. And then one more here. Here it's what I was just showing is collated a little bit differently, where you can see how individual verified oncologists in our system are reacting to individual trials. So it pivots that in a matrix. Now we also do outside of the social, we track obviously as one would, looking at abstracts by product, looking at just total number of abstracts by product, as well as MOA, as well as disease. So that's what you're seeing here in the purple. And then I'll drop back per your request, Bruno, to the first page.
Thank you. Let's look at the fifth trials, which is interesting because you both have some negative, and one or two people think it's practice changing, and I'm wondering if it's just the oddity of the opinions of our influencers, or if perhaps our AI missed something.
Well, this is one, I'll be frank, this is one of the, I wouldn't say limitations, but it's a natural element of looking at people's oncologists posts about a trial before the data release is there. So I think that's what we're seeing here, without calling out any individual, is that it could be practice impacting for a specific stage or a specific setting. And that's one reaction, that it could be that. Now, after we have the data, and after everyone's been able to process these presentations at ASCO, it might be a little bit more constructed reactions, but that's what you're seeing here. And this is relevant, but the negativity in this case is again a bit speculative, that there's a room there, it's rumored, or maybe there's questions. So we start tracking that well before the conference takes place, but you'll really start to see how that AI works after people are being a little bit more, I don't know if the word is declarative or constructed, or seeing the data itself. That was a very inefficient answer, Bruno, and to those listening, but that's part of the difference of using AI before and after.
In a couple of days, the situation, I think, will be clear. So good luck at ASCO. If you're there, please. I hope we'll meet. I'll be with my signature purple cap, so you can find me in the audience. I hope we say hello. And as mentioned by Mark, we would love you to try this platform. So drop us a line, and Mark will send you a complimentary access credential.
Thanks,
That's it
everybody,
for
for
today.
joining.
Au revoir.